I'm making this video to talk about some things that have happened recently. Grim Nasty and our blood sister, Lady Green, have taken a trip. They've decided to do Exodus 2018, and they are currently taking some ships, some boats, and going up the Northwest Passage to try to reach the Garden of Eden. I wish them the best of luck. I hope it works out. I had the opportunity to go with them, but through my own negligence, I missed the ride to go with Lady Green. And then I also just figured I would try and go with my blood brother, Seven Rise, and Matthias Wordsmith, and some other people in 2019. And so yeah, that's what we're going to try to do. I'm going to try to join those guys, and we're going to try to get to the center of the flat earth plane here in 2019. So I'm just going to be spending as much time as I can researching sailing, using a sextant, and getting ready for navigating on a boat, learning how to navigate with maps and all that stuff. So, I want to be the filmmaker, but I also want to help out as much as possible. I want to be there with my camera, filming everything that we can, the journey up there, and us reaching the center of the flat earth plane, the Garden of Eden, the Holy Grail. So, it's kind of what I want to do. It's really pretty out here. I'm in a dog park. It's really nice. I was just hanging out with my dog, letting him run around. He's currently being watched by my dad, so, I'm walking around making this video. But, yeah, what I want to say, though, is, I've talked about Exodus 2018, and I tried to make it happen with Lady Green and stuff. And then all of a sudden, Grim Nasty was like, oh, yeah, we're going up, we're meeting in New Hampshire and stuff, and I tried to meet him, but my radiator in my car blew, so I wasn't able to drive up there couple weeks before I even found out about them doing their little exodus. And yeah, if I had a car, I probably would have tried to join them, but I had some other things going on. I have my mom and my dad, and I'm in a position right now in my life where if I were to just leave suddenly without any kind of explanation, they would totally flip out on me. So I'm trying to get into a situation where I'm like completely independent from my mom and my dad, so when I do this Exodus in 2019, they won't be stressed and worried and all kinds of stuff. They'll be leaving me to my own devices by then, so when I do go, I won't have to stress about that. And if, something happens and they do stress and they do decide to argue with me or affect me negatively in any way over my trying to do this Exodus in 2019, then, that's what happens. I'll just have to deal with that. That's life. But I'm trying to figure it out so everything kind of works out a little bit better. I want to get a boat and have a meeting spot planned out and all that stuff for 2019. I'm going to try to make some videos with Ruai and Seven Rise here in a little bit about all that. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what I can do. We'll see what we can make happen. I want to meet up with Quasi-Luminous, and I want to meet up with Seven Rise, and whoever else wants to come. So 2019, we're going to be trying to schedule this shit. And, we'll probably do something similar to what Grim Nasty did. We'll probably try to all meet up in one area, get some boats together, and go up the Northwest Passage or something like that. Probably more or less following that guy's footsteps. But at the same time, I want to do things differently. I want it to be, at least 15, 20 people. And I want to get, like, some kind of larger boat together. Yeah, I don't know. Some kind of larger boat together. And something, bigger than 10 feet. And have all of us just take that one boat up there. And, yeah, we're going to try to, do it sometime next year. Right around this time of this year. we're gonna all try to meet up, somewhere in August of next year and try and go up there. So yeah, that's the plan, Exodus 2019, more or less. I don't know what else you need to know other than just get your shit prepared and start preparing for it. Because it's going to happen one way or another. This world that we live in right now, where we can just, here in America, where we can just do whatever the fuck we want. It's going to be ending pretty soon. It's not going to be something that lasts for very long. Just because we have all, this crap that is going on around us. And shit's happening fast, It's not like there's anything to be afraid of. You don't have to be afraid of 5G. You don't have to be afraid of the government collapsing. You don't have to be afraid of everything that we have right now collapsing, because I'm pretty sure they're going to try to keep it going for as long as possible. They're going to keep trying to soft kill us the way that they've been doing. So to do that, they kind of have to keep the deception rolling, so they can keep getting victims. If they were to just bust out a shitload of people and kill a bunch of people right now, I think that their plan would probably backfire on them. Talking about the elites, of course, the people that are our slave owners. And I'm tired of being a slave. So, even though I can walk around in this dog park in beautiful nature right now, I'm still a slave to their system. I still have to work for useless paper backed by my own stupidity. I still have to slave away at this, 8-hour, 10-hour job. My mom's a nurse. She works for 12 hours, a day, making not enough money to survive on. And she's an LPN, And, I'm just tired of that. I don't want my mom to have to slave away for the rest of her life. I don't want her to die of old age or anything else. So, same with my dad, I want everyone, all of these people around me, all my friends, all my families, even the people that I don't even know, all these people that I meet on the street, I want them to have the same opportunities that everyone else has. And it's not about equality or inequality, it's just, every single person on this earth should have the ability and the freedom to spend 3 weeks driving around the Himalayan mountains. Everyone should have the ability and the opportunities in their life to just go and experience the Appalachian Mountains. But that's not something that I can do without slaving away for quite a while to make something like that happen. And I just don't feel like that's the world that we should be living in. We should be living in a world where all of our fruit and all of our food that we need is right on every single street corner. Just like Quasi says, if we were to just build fruit-bearing trees on every street and street corner, we can get rid of world hunger. There you go. We need to be doing stuff like that, and, I'm going to try to be doing stuff like that, and I don't know, there's so much interesting stuff in this world, and we live in a world right now where there's just countless amounts of people that, for no reason that I can think of, they have to slave away their entire life in a small area of this earth, toiling for what? For food and for survival? That's not what we should be doing. We're human beings. We have the ability to create a world where we have a heaven on earth for the benefit of all. We have the ability to create a heaven on earth for the benefit of all, and we could make it happen in a couple weeks if we wanted to. If all of us just got together and we weren't all just so stupid the way we are. If everyone just did a little bit of research and took a little bit of time to think about this beautiful nature that we have all around us, we could start helping it and ourselves instead of hurting it for ourselves. So, if we planted fruit-bearing trees on every single street corner in the world, we can end world hunger. It's really that simple. And, then we wouldn't have to deal with Walmart anymore. Because Walmart would go out of business after, we don't need to go there to buy our food anymore. And then, well, what do we do about paper towels? What do we do about all kinds of other things? If we can't go to Walmart anymore, what are we going to do? We're just going to die? No. It's really simple. Paper towels aren't that hard to make. Toilet paper isn't that hard to make. I'm sure we can make a biodegradable version of it if we put our minds to it. And then we have people that would take some time out of their day, just like I would be taking time out of my day every day, to go and do some work. And if we all just worked a little bit every day, we could have a heaven on earth for the benefit of all. Like, we have 7 billion people on this planet, supposedly. Overpopulation is a myth. We can fit all of those 7 billion people in, like, Texas. And, like, everyone can live in the state of Texas. Not that I'm saying everyone should live in the state of Texas, and I'm forcing everyone to live in the state of Texas. I'm saying every single person on this planet could live comfortably in an area the size of the state of Texas. Less than that, actually. So, why do we have these people that have 80, 90 acres? They're a CEO of a company. They've never taken the time. They've never even had to spend their last $3 on a loaf of bread to feed themselves, let alone use their last $3 to buy themselves a loaf of bread and then use more than half of it to feed the birds outside of their window. How many CEOs do something like that? You know what I mean? So these people, they're pretty fucked up. They're pretty twisted. If I had all that money, if I was a CEO of a company, I'd be doing a lot of good with that. I wouldn't be sitting here at a dog park right now. I'd be using that money and that power that I have, that influence, to be making stuff happen. I'd be spreading the messages to everyone that I know about the flat earth plane. Not that I don't do that already. I do it as much as I can. But I would have a platform, a surface to work off of for doing that. So it just boggles my mind that these CEOs, like, I know this guy is named Dave, and he's like multi-million-dollar person. He's going up to the Himalayan mountains, and he's going to ride his bike around the Himalayan mountains for the next couple weeks. And I'm happy for him. That's awesome. But if we lived in a heaven on earth for the benefit of all, I could do that, you could do that, everyone could do that, fucking Jimbo over in Ethiopia could do that. And that's the world I want to live in. I want to live in a world where I don't have to deal with being born into an inferiority and a superiority complex, where these people all around us, they're so focused on money and acquiring material wealth, they just get caught up on it, and then they keep doing it, and then they use that for their own experiences and for their own benefit. That's fine, I'm going to buy some marijuana and I'm going to smoke it. I share it with as many people as I want, but there's going to be times where I'm going to want to smoke some weed by myself too. There's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, I should be able to grow that marijuana anytime, anywhere, any place that I want. Smoke as much of it as I want, give away as much as I want. We wouldn't have to deal with, spending $35 for an eighth of weed. We could just have as much, weed as we want. That's what I'm talking about. And that's possible. It's possible for all of us to just get together and say, we're not paying our taxes anymore. We're not paying our mortgage anymore. We're not doing any of this crap anymore. We're not working for your paper. We want our blood, sweat, and tears equity. So, I don't know, That's kind of the world that I want to live in. And, I'm a musician, so I can make songs about it. And I can write movies about it. And I can make short films about it. That's what I like to do with myself. That's what I found that I'm good at, is editing. And I have an eye for painting. And I have an eye for making movies. I would have no problem taking 4 days out of my week and painting. For 8 hours a day for those 4 weeks. Get all that painting done for people. if it meant that we didn't have to deal with this enslavement system that we have anymore. You know, we can take all these people that we have, and instead of having the system we have, we could just all come together. We have the internet. You know, with the power of the internet, we can make anything happen. We could communicate and collaborate in any possible direction or way that we want. You know, we could have a barter system that is a true barter system because of the internet. It's not, oh, well, this guy thinks this is worth this and this guy thinks this is worth that. No, it's really simple. We have a barter system. You have your products. You put them on the internet. People browse your product, and if they want it, they propose a trade. If you like the trade, you take it. If you don't like the trade, you wait for someone else to propose a trade. There's an idea. You know, expand upon it, perfect it. There's lots of things we can do with this world around us. We could bring forth a heaven on earth for the benefit of all. We could have all of us released from bondage. We could get rid of the pedophilia. We could get rid of the child sex trafficking. We could get rid of the murder and the rape and the torture and the mental enslavement that all of us deal with on a daily basis. We can do something about all this. And I want to do something about it. You know, I put my blood up on a piece of paper. I did blood over intent because I saw in myself a lot of things that I wanted to better and a lot of things that I wanted to do with myself. You know, I realized that selflessness is way better than selfishness. If you're selfless, you know, it's like karma. You make good karma is going to come to you. You make bad karma is going to come to you. And I wanted to put myself in everyone else's shoes. I wanted to use empathy. I wanted to be an empath. Even if I wasn't one, I just wanted to get it to a place where I'm operating out of my heart and not out of any selfish desire. You know, I don't want to manipulate people. I don't want to scam people. I don't want to have more than other people. I want all of us to just have a heaven on earth for the benefit of all. I don't want to say, you know, oh, well, I've spent the past 10 years of my life working my ass off, and now I got this business and all this money, and I can do all this great stuff now. I want to say I've spent the past 10 years of my life making movies with people that love making movies, and we make movies about how to deal with life, how to deal with emotional problems, how to deal with the human experience, how to better yourself. I don't want to see these movies anymore about people killing each other pointlessly. You know, I don't want to see any of that anymore. I want to make movies about good, beautiful interactions with people and their environment. I want to see movies about overcoming obstacles. And I want to help make those movies. I want to help tell those stories. I can't do that right now with Hollywood the way it is and with the world the way it is. I got to go through their system. You know, I can't make music and have it be heard by the masses unless it's a part of this system, this enslavement system around us. I can't do a lot of stuff that I want to do in this system of enslavement. So I want to change that. That's why I did blood over intent. And, you know, I want everyone, every single person in the world to be able to have that ability to be creative, that ability to express themselves, that ability to add something to the world. And, you know, it's been said before, and I'll say it again, you know, think of all the poets that spent their life. No, I'll look for them. All right. You know, I want to be able to see a world where these people aren't just working the rest of their lives. I found them! Working the rest of their life away. That's Biggers for you. Hey, Biggs! Biggers! So, I want to see a world where these people, these poets and these musicians, they can make music and they can make poetry. And we can all, not have to starve. We can all not have to worry about how we're going to find our next meal or how we're going to live and get a roof over our head. It's just stupid. We should be able to just take our blood, sweat, and tears, go make a house if you want to make a house. There you go. There's your house. Enjoy it. It's yours for the rest of your life, and with eternal life into the equation, that's pretty cool. I want to be able to see my father not die. That'd be great. Same with my mom. Same with my friends and my family. Same with, all these animals and all this stuff. I don't really know everything, but I do know that the earth is flat. And I do know we have a creator. And I'm 100% positive that creator is our goddess. And I'm trying to figure out a way so I can live virtuously. I can live piously. I can live the way my creator intended me to exist. And, become one with my creator. In some way you can say that. In another way, I just want to stand in truth and live in truth. I don't want to lie. I don't want to have to live in lies. I don't want to have to live in other people's lives. I don't want to lie. I don't want to create lies. I just want to figure out what the truth is and stand in truth and operate out of that. And I know a lot of people feel the same way. And I feel like truth is immutable, and truth is really simple. I can sit down with you and we can observe some birds on a tree, and those birds aren't going to lie to us. We'll be able to figure out everything we need to know just by observing those birds. We'll be able to figure out what they like, what they don't like, how they treat their children, how they show their children what to eat, what not to eat, how they chase other birds away. It's fun and it's funny and it's beautiful. Nature is truly beautiful. It needs protecting. It needs our protecting, especially since we're the ones that are doing the majority of the destruction. Not to say that, we're all to blame. Not to say that I'm the one who's to blame for global warming. I'm not the one who's to blame for all the plastic that's in the ocean. I'm not the one. Ooh, look at that spider right there. Let's see if we can see him right there. It's beautiful. Isn't he cool? Let's get a little bit closer up on him. So that's really cool. So, we have this world we live in, and I think we live in hell right now. It's crazy. And I want to bring forth a heaven on earth for the benefit of all. I don't believe in a heaven or hell. I don't believe in the words of the Bible. But I do know we have a creator. And as thy will be done, as on earth as it is in heaven, I intend to help my creator in any way, shape, or form. And coming to that realization has been life-changing. It's been a tough one. It's been hard. I used to be a manipulative person. I used to be a liar. I used to steal. I was an atheist, and I was a moral relativist and all this stuff. And then, doing more research and gaining more information, and then just thinking about it, meditating on it, thinking about how it's used, what it could be used for, why would it be used this way, why would it not be used this way, asking myself all these questions, and then just looking at what we've been presented with. I've come to the conclusions that I've come to, and I want to see something else than what I'm seeing every day. And I know a lot of people feel the same way. So the way that I did it, the way that I decided to go about changing this world and changing myself was I try to sun gaze as much as possible. But then I also kind of think of myself almost like a computer. And when I have those moments where my mind's just running, where I can say whatever I want in my mind, or what I'm thinking, whatever I want in my mind, I also try to take the time every day, and when I have the moments where I'm not doing anything, I think into my head pretty much just continuously, I intend to love all and exclude no one. I intend to bring forth a heaven on earth for the benefit of all. I intend to release us all from bondage. And by doing that, it really helps me center myself, and it really helps me operate out of my heart space rather than having to deal with a bunch of thoughts that I don't want to think about. Looking at like a really, really, really beautiful girl as a man. A lot of my other fellow men will know what I'm talking about. We have thoughts that pop into our head, and thinking, I intend to worship all and exclude no one. I intend to release us all from bondage. I intend to bring forth a heaven on earth for the benefit of all. Over time, that's completely changed what pops into my head when I see everything. Everything that I used to think about when I would, react to what's around me in my environment has changed for the better. I feel like I don't have to deal with thoughts that are randomly selfish. I don't have to deal with thoughts of, doing, I should do this or go about it this way for this thing to happen. I feel a little bit more just like guided by my heart, and by following my heart, trying to follow, how would this person feel if I was in their shoes? What would I do if I was in this person's shoes? What would I think if this was said to me? How would I feel if I said this to someone else? Just empathy, really. And incorporating that into my mind and that into my world more has been, a lot of what I've been doing, trying to do. And it's been really good. I feel a lot happier. I feel, like I've kind of found myself in a lot of ways. Look at Biggs, he's over there. So, it's an interesting world we live in. But, I never had a spiritual experience until I really started to research, blood over intent and all this stuff, and it just kind of clicks. It just made sense to me, hearing Quasi-Luminous and all of my other blood brothers and sisters talk about the Saturn moon matrix. It just clicks. It makes a lot of sense to me. And it makes sense, when I look at the moon, and before I had even found Quasi-Luminous, I'm looking at the moon and I'm researching the lunar wave and thinking about, the moon could not be what they tell us it is. What is the moon then? What could be up there? What is it? Some kind of holographic space station with some giant black cube behind it? Some alien space station? That's what I was thinking. And then researching more about the flat earth and stuff, you come to realize that the moon is a disk. It's not a ball. It's not a sphere. It's not reflecting the light of the sun. The sun is at 93 million miles away. All this stuff. And then you can test it. You can test where the sun is with crepuscular sun rays. You can test the moon by its temperature variations and by the optical issues that arise up from it. Something 10 kilometers wide. If I were to take a 10 kilometer wide target and put it 130,000 miles in that direction, there's no amount of optics that would make that 10-kilometer target visible 130 kilometers in that direction. So why then can I look up at the sun right there and also see the moon in the sky at the same time here in Ohio, and be able to zoom in on that moon with my binoculars and see a 10-mile wide crater with it? Why? How? But if I were to take binoculars, there's no way I could take a 10-mile wide or 10-kilometer wide target in that direction straight in front of me and pick it up with binoculars. It's just impossible. You know, you can look at something 127 miles away and barely be able to see it with binoculars. So it's not, you know, once you start thinking about it, once you start thinking about the sun rays and the way the moon and it looks in the sky throughout the month, you'll be able to see then the way that I see, probably. And if not, good, we'll talk about it, we'll communicate it, we'll figure it out, because we're all just trying to get to the bottom of it. We're all just trying to get the truth right now. You know, I don't have all the answers, like I said. I'm not 100% correct on all this, but I have done a lot of research on the flat earth, and I've done a lot of research on the meanings of symbolism. And the symbolism for me definitely points to a flat earth. And the symbolism for me definitely points to a reality where we have a flat earth plane with a dome above our head, and at the center of this flat earth plane, where all compasses point to, is the tree of life, also the Garden of Eden, and also the Fountain of Youth. And so one of the ways that I intend to spend my life is I want to be one of the people, you know, that go out and bring this proof of the flat earth back to the masses, so we can wake everyone up to the truth, basically, because everyone's been lied to about the reality and where we are and what we live in. I want to help. I guess in a lot of ways, you know, I'm trying to make up for the karma debt that I've acquired up to this point in my life, you know. I've stole from people, and I've done a lot of lying, and I've hurt people, and I don't want to do that again. I don't want to do that anymore. I want to make sure that all of these things that I'm doing, all my actions and everything that I say, has a positive, beneficial effect on everyone around me. Because that's what I would want. I would want someone to come into my life and have a beneficial effect on me. Why would I not want myself to have a beneficial effect on everyone else? So I, you know, spend a lot of time with my music, and I play my music in a tuning called 421.39 hertz for the note of A. And I do this because all of our music today is tuned in 440 hertz for the note of A. And that tuning has a very negative effect on all of us. It's a dissonant frequency. It creates dissonance between the notes. It doesn't have the sonic purity that 421.39 hertz has. And I can say that for a bunch of different reasons. For one, my guitar sounds way better. It vibrates more, and it's way fuller, it's louder. It's a much more desirable tone for me. And I've been playing in 421.39 hertz for so long that it's actually a little bit difficult for me to listen to 440 hertz now. Just because I can really, my ears are trained so I can notice the difference. But to the untrained ear, to someone who has no idea what any of this is, 421.39 hertz sounds exactly like 440 hertz. There's no difference. It sounds exactly the same. Just, you know, maybe a little bit lower, if you can notice that. But it's the same sound. It's just more resonant. There's no dissonance. And it has the Schumann resonance, because it's based off 421.39 hertz for the note of A4 is gotten. If you take 7.83 hertz for the note of C negative 0, or sorry, C negative 1, and you double that, you get C0, which is like 15.66 hertz, I think. And then from there, you can double that until you get 256 or something like that for C4. And then, you know, then you've got all your C notes. You just double 7.83 hertz to keep doubling everything. And then you get all your C notes. And then you can use that to extrapolate what all the other notes would be off the scale with math. So I did all that math and I found 421.39 hertz for the note of A instead of 440 or 432 or 430.56 or anything like that. And I've tried them all. I've tried everything. 432, 430.56, 420, all kinds of different tuning frequencies for A4. And then I tune my guitar by ear, but I know what I'm doing. Trust me, it's accurate. How I do it is I use an online tone generator. I set the online tone generator for 421.39, and then I turn on the saw wave, and I tune my guitar to the saw wave because I find that's easier for me to hear the wobblies that are created by the notes. I don't know what they're called. I call them transients. But I use that to hear the whether it's in tune or not, and it's really easy to hear if it's not in tune or not with the saw wave versus the sine wave. So, oh yeah, that's a cardinal over there. I don't know if you can see him, but see if he'll fly away. So, you know, it's beautiful out here today. And, you know, so I just wanted to make this video as kind of an update, I guess. Talk about some stuff. Talk about where I'm at, what I'm trying to do. What's been going on. I got a painting company I'm going to be running here pretty soon with my dad. It's going to be cool. And, you know, I'm just getting my life together and getting everything situated for this Exodus in 2019, because one way or another, you know, I've got to figure out a way to get a boat and get up there and make it happen with a bunch of other people so it's successful and so it's, you know, like a legitimate expedition up there. I want everything to be legitimate. I want everything to be really well thought out. I want to have our whole journey up the Northwest Passage pretty much plotted out day by day, where we're going to be, what we need to do, so it's not going to be, you know, kind of improvised along the way. Not that we're not going to have to do a lot of that, I'm sure, but at the same time, I want to try to avoid that. So I don't know how we're going to make it happen. I don't know what Quasi wants to do. I don't know what all you want to do. But I'm, you know, making this video for my blood brothers and sisters, and to anyone else that wants to see this. You know, help me make it happen, please. You know, contact me. I'll try and be contacting you guys here pretty shortly. And we'll start figuring it out. Yeah. All right. Have a good night, everyone. Love and wholeness. I wish you all well. I intend to release us all from bondage. I intend to bring forth a heaven on earth for the benefit of all.